Before commencing any Yatra into the Himalayas, it is important for me to pay my respects to Ma Ganga, to attend a Havan ceremony, and to take part in an arti on the banks of the Ganges River in Rishikesh. It is only then that I feel ready to start walking. After a long day and a few wrong turns, I arrived at the Kalu Sit Mandir on the eve of the Hanuman festivities and puja, which was attended by all the local children. After a long first day, a blister had developed under my right foot, so I decided to have a much easier second day. In the heat of the day, I had a wonderful rest on an old mattress on the side of the road, and then ended up spending a glorious night on the banks of the Song River, being entertained by hundreds of fireflies. The third day dawned crisp and beautiful. After changing my old shoes for a new pair in Dehradun, I made my way up to Mussoorie on the eve of Lord Krishna's birthday. I spent the night in a Gurudwara. Day 4 was all downhill to the little village of Bediyana, where I spent the night at the Kali Mata Mandir. I caught my first glimpse of the magnificent Yamuna river and looked forward to crossing her in the morning. On day 5, I crossed the Yamuna river, and then it was uphill all the way, but the surrounding views were exquisite. After another long day, I stayed in a little roadside restaurant which had magnificent views of the Yamuna river. I was glad to be under cover because it rained all night. On day 6, I made my way up to Lakamandal. It was a long day, and I was relieved to be able to stay at the famous Shiva temple, which dates back to the 6th century. After the early evening puja, I was given some dinner by a lovely young man, and then spent the night on the grass with 3 cows and a donkey. On day 7, I walked to Barkot, which is the gateway to Yamunotri. It's a bustling town, and I passed right through and found a shelter on the banks of the Yamuna. I took my first bath in the river, which was very special and auspicious. On day 8, I walked to Pujurgaon, where I rested in the heat of the day at the Shiva Mandir, before proceeding to the Rajeswari temple, which is situated just before Sanachati. set off early from the Rajeshwari Mandir and after lots of uphill, finally arrived in Janki Chatti, where I spent a wonderful night in an ashram. I had my own room, a bed and a bathroom, and after the challenge of what I had been through, it felt like heaven. On what would be my last day on this yatra, I set off early for the Yamunotri Mandir. It was a tough and challenging 6-kilometer climb to the temple, and I was elated to finally reach there after a magnificent 10 days of walking.
So I'm standing here in Yamunotri with the mandir behind me, having just arrived a few minutes ago after 10 days of walking from Rishikesh, and I'm extremely grateful to be here. By the grace of God, by the grace of Goddess Yamuna, I finally arrived in Yamunotri. And I'm now going to go and pay my respects to Goddess Yamuna and go and visit the mandir before I slowly make my way back. It's been an amazing 10 days. In many ways it's been quite epic. Once again, transformational experience. Now it's time just to take in the spirit and atmosphere of Yamunotri and to go and pay my respects. Namaste to you. Much love and much gratitude.
As I started descending from Yamunotri, I realized that over the last 10 days, I had walked 201 kilometers and climbed up to 3,300 vertical meters above sea level. It was a tough but unforgettable 10 days, where once again I learned to surrender from moment to moment, and this transformational journey deepened my faith and trust in God's power and God's will. Thank you for walking alongside me.